Hey guys, Axelmyth here, and today I'm going to be micro-reviewing every single game I've played in the years 2020 and 2021. Okay, I might have forgotten a few games, but stay with me here. I meant to do this at the beginning of 2021, but by the time I got everything back from storage and I got around to making it, I already started on the Bad Batch videos and then was transitioning to making the Force Unleashed videos. So by that point I figured, I'll just make it 2020 and 2021 during the whole pandemic. Why not, right? I thought that this would be a really fun video, and even though there's not footage, I hope that you still enjoy this video.
Donkey Kong NES. I put this first because it doesn't quite count. I only really played this in an arcade in 2020, and we'd be here all day if I made this exception to every single game. But when else am I going to announce my love for this game? Seriously, best arcade game ever in my opinion. Metroid NES. Already made a review of this. This is a lovely looking game with some horrible level design. Metroid Fusion Gba. Compared to the others in the series, it's a linear experience, I guess. But it seems like a great way to be introduced to the Metroid series. 100% check this out. Star Wars The Force Unleashed for the DS. A bland beat 'em up, most of the time you can get through without defeating enemies. Pretty decent looking Star Wars game on the DS though. Also, the force powers in this game are used through touchscreen, and I wasn't the biggest fan of that. That said, I was impressed with what they were able to do on the DS hardware. Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass on the DS. Easy puzzle design, awkward yet interesting touch controls. Not the best looking DS game either. Above all, I'm glad I gave this one another chance. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga on the 3DS. Pretty simple RPG. I found it to have the best story in the series, but probably the simplest gameplay, verging on boring at times. Pretty good world to explore. Oh, and there's a giant difficulty spike at the end. Mario and Luigi Partners in Time for the DS. Less of a world to explore, and a control scheme that wasn't thought out too well. Most of my deaths was because I couldn't stretch my thumb far enough to cover both X and B buttons. Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story for the 3DS. They brought back the overworld map, which is great. They made the gameplay better. This is how you make a Mario RPG. Though, I feel like too many healing items were given to me. Mario & Luigi Dream Team for the 3DS. It has motion controls that work most of the time, though I almost rage quit at the end because of them. I also felt it sort of overstayed its welcome. Metroid Samus Returns on the 3DS. Another one I made a video about, a very fun game with controls that are very responsive, but made my hands beg for mercy by the time I was done. Great game though. New Super Mario Bros. 2 on the 3DS. A decent experience with a bunch of coins. Wouldn't go for the million coin price though. Pretty basic Mario game above all. Pokemon Omega Ruby. One of the first games I finished in 2020. Also the first Pokemon game where I did not use my normal Pokemon choices. Pretty good experience Pokemon wise. Pokemon Moon for the 3DS. This is a game where they took Gen 1 Pokemon and changed their designs and their typing. I felt this was one of the most challenging Pokemon games I've played. I actually lost to the Elite Four twice before defeating them. Resident Evil 4 for the Wii. I had a lot of fun with this title, inspired me to play some of the others. This is not only one of the best looking Wii games of all time, this is one of the best Wii games in general. Resident Evil Revelations on the 3DS. This is probably the best looking game I've ever seen on the 3DS. Fun survival horror that, despite being on a pretty small screen, made me jump a time or two. I will say the load times take forever. Seriously, there was a few times where I thought the game straight up just froze on me. Super Mario 3D Land for the 3DS, an isometrical Mario game. I thought this one was done better than its sequel on the Wii U. Though the level design is a bit basic, I feel like it relied too much on its 3D gimmick. Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U. Another isometrical Mario game. And I don't have much to say about this one. I didn't like how I long-shotted myself off the stage when I got some momentum. Plus with 8 directions instead of the 12 with Mario 3D Land, just makes this game a pain to control. Neither of these are my favorite Mario games, but I will not deny that they are at least good games. Fire Emblem Echoes for the 3DS. A remake of a Japan-exclusive Famicom game. Also my first Fire Emblem game. Well, I'm a fan of the series now. The chess-like gameplay is surprisingly addicting. Voice acting was amazing as well. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Nintendo Switch. My first strategy RPG. Like I said, the chess gameplay is addicting. This one felt a bit simpler compared to Fire Emblem, so I feel like this is a great game to get into these type of strategy games. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX on the Nintendo Switch. I remember playing this as a kid. I remember not getting into it. Back then it was because of the reading this game made me do at the beginning, and believe me, there's still a lot. Now, it's because I really just don't like the grid-based gameplay and boring dungeon designs. I thought it was going to be a bit more like Zelda. Luigi's Mansion 3 for the Nintendo Switch. This game is great, though I find the controls fighting with me when I tried to aim with the second control stick. This game controls like it wants to be a twin-stick shooter, but it's constrained by trying to fit inside one Joy-Con. The second Luigi's Mansion is still my favorite because of this flaw. But I still had a lot of fun with Luigi's Mansion 3, and I do think it's really fun. Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer, Nintendo Switch. This is the Dreamcast port of the game. I had forgotten how much fun this game can be, though I don't think the graphics hold up too well. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order for the PS4. I had a lot of fun with this game. The Metroidvania, if you will, style really suits Star Wars. I'll admit it takes more patience with the combat than ever before, but it also makes the combat more interesting in a sense. 100% try this game out. Super Mario Odyssey, Nintendo Switch. I really enjoyed my time with it, though I can't find much to really say about it. I do feel like this is probably the best 3D Mario game there is, but my nostalgia is still telling me that Mario 64 is the best. Streets of Rage 4 for the Nintendo Switch. A beat 'em up. I don't get much enjoyment out of 2D beat 'em ups like this unless it's with a friend, so I don't have much room to pick on this too much. I love this game's art style though. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020. Originally I bought this for my oldest son because he's getting into both of these franchises, and then ended up enjoying it myself.
Many games, so many.
Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga for the DS. This is one of the most impressive because of what they were able to do with the hardware. But compared to its console counterparts, it's bland and kinda sucks. Lego Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars, 3DS. I played one level, and it just didn't sit well with me. It was a bit boring compared to the console version. I would honestly hate to see how the original DS version counterpart is. Wario Land 2 for the Game Boy Color. Did a review on this one. It's a decent platformer that's in the shadow of its predecessor. Not much to say here. I at least like this game mostly. Wario Land 3 for the Game Boy Color. I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't understand what to do and where to go, but since you can't do any moves from the first game or the second, I gave up trying. Mega Man 2 for the Game Boy. A very claustrophobic Mega Man experience, really hard to see incoming obstacles. Mighty Gun Volt 3DS port. I said it before in another gamer's log, this is what I thought Mega Man on a Game Boy would be like. Only being $5 on the 3DS eShop, I would definitely check this one out. Though it's really short. My 3DS said I only beat it in like a half hour. Bayonetta for the Wii U. I can see the appeal in the gameplay, but I'm personally not a fan. Never was a fan of beat 'em ups. Sorry. Mega Man 7 for the SNES, PS4. I played the Legacy Collection. One of the best Mega Man games I've ever played. Never had a problem until the boss, where I rage quit. The final boss. Because of that, I think it's the worst game. I don't believe in games that purposefully make it impossible to beat. Smash Bros. Ultimate Nintendo Switch. One of the last games I beat in 2020. One of the best Smash Brothers, but still not my favorite personally. That still falls on the Wii U and 3DS versions. They changed Link a lot from the last games, and I'm not a big fan of that. But the characters are easier to unlock, and I actually really like the adventure type mode better than the Wii U version had, though it still can get pretty monotonous. Mega Man 8 for the PlayStation Legacy Collection. Felt the bosses were a little bland, except Clown Man. I actually don't understand people's beef with this game back then. I really like this one. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Nintendo Switch. This is what I remember Ocarina of Time being like, except there's so much more to do. I'm not gonna lie, this game was great until I felt like I was done with it near the end. Also notice that the Wii U version really does run worse than the Switch, like, a lot. Sonic the Hedgehog Game Gear. This is a decent Sonic experience. It's not as good as the Genesis/Mega Drive versions. It doesn't hold a candle to any of the other games from this time, but still fun nonetheless. Pokemon Crystal Game Boy Color. Not gonna lie, not one of the best Pokemon games I've played, but it's still a real fun time. But since I barely remembered I even played this game, I don't know how memorable it is. Resident Evil GameCube. Dude, I played this for 4 hours with no idea what to do. How was I to know that finding a dog whistle would activate what I need to get to the next room? So I'm not gonna lie, I gave up. Not for me. Mega Man 9. I feel like there hasn't been a memorable boss design since Mega Man 6, but the stage design in this game is pretty good. The final boss is still BS though, not nearly as bad as 7's, granted. Dr. Mario Miracle Cure for the 3DS. A fun little distraction. I could never figure out the Dr. Luigi segments. Dragon Quest VIII for the 3DS. Ever wanted to play a Dragon Ball RPG? It has the same comedy and charm. I really liked this adventure, and it was pretty fun all the way through. Though the difficulty dropped off a cliff at the final boss. Literally spent hours grinding to get up to speed with it. Star Wars Jedi Academy 2 Jedi Outcast. This game is a great Star Wars first-person shooter. Super fun until it decides not to be. I do think the puzzle designs could be less cryptic. Star Wars The Force Unleashed Xbox 360. Already did a review on this one, so I'll keep it short. Just as fun as I remember it. Still my favorite Star Wars game, though overall seems a little rushed. Star Wars The Force Unleashed for the Wii. Another one I've reviewed. The level design in this version could use a little more platforming and a bit less beat 'em up, but I will say even though this game is almost as short as the 360 version and slightly worse, it somehow ends up feeling less rushed. Avgn Adventures Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. This game is tough and originally sort of unfair. This time around I think it's slightly more fair because you can turn off the death blocks. Also the new nerd levels are placed rather well and easy to get to considering this game's questionable design choices. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Nintendo Switch. This one's definitely my favorite Mario Kart. The new stages are really well designed. This game's Rainbow Road isn't from hell, and there are a bunch of characters that I love to play. I even try to play ones that are just random. I also like the kart customizer. You get some pretty silly looking karts sometimes, but some really just good karts overall. Also, and most importantly, it's not Mario Kart 7. Avgn Adventures 2 Assimilations Deluxe, Nintendo Switch. So overall, I think this game is designed so much better, though it still does have quite a few beginner's traps. The added wall jump is a welcome one, but I did have trouble with him getting stuck on walls quite often. Love the upgrades Mega Man X style. Lastly, the nerd levels are not put in very well places at all. Often almost impossible without getting hit. Mega Man Battle Network 4 Red Sun Game Boy Advanced. I really liked playing this RPG Mega Man. The battle system was pretty fun, and so is how the battle chips work. Though I do wish the chips matched other chips more. All chips have letters next to them, and to create combos you have to match the letters, or have two of the same battle chips. It was hard to create combos with what I had. The biggest problem I have with this game is how confusing the networld is, and just how boring the main story's missions can be. They're always in threes, and they're always just walk around and do this, and it's kind of boring. I can't believe it took me almost 20 years to actually commit to beating this game.
And those are all the games I've pretty much played in the years 2020 and 2021. If you go back to Gamer's Log and find more, I guess let me know. I don't know. I don't know what's in there. But either way, if you like this video, click the like button. If you want to, leave a comment and let me know what you thought of some of these games if you've played any of them. Seriously, even if you've played all of them on this list, just type it out. Seriously, I'll read it. Blast that subscribe button and ignite the bell icon to stay up to date with some of my videos. And I will catch you next time.